it's just heart-wrenching.
If anything, it shouldn't have been at his house. It should have been like in a park or a neutral place. He just has too many advantages if he's there.
Right.
And I mean, worst case scenario happened though. He locked. I mean, what kids aren't excited to see their father after a long, but yeah, I don't think it should have been at his house. Maybe, like I said, in a park or a youth center, somewhere where it's neutral ground.
Right. I completely agree. I do feel like they just completely slipped. I don't know.
The system failed. Yes.
Yes. So, unfortunately, like I said, they did perish, and the kids and Josh died in that fire. Mm-hmm. An autopsy would show that the boys had been bludgeoned with a hatchet to render them unconscious. Josh sat down on a 5-gallon bucket of gas, striking a match and setting fire to the house. So, of course, this is all premeditated.
Yeah, he deserved it. The kids didn't.
No.
What kind of father does that to their kids? But I mean,
I don't understand.
No, I don't even know.
He didn't give any, advanced warning that he was going to do this, but they find out that he had closed all of his accounts, gave all of the boys' toys away, and he called instructions and left a message on his, so his outgoing message, he changed to reflect like, I'm so sorry that I can't live without the boys, and I'm sorry, but goodbye.
Oh.
Essentially. So after his death, they don't have anything to go on. He didn't ever give any information. So they start to focus, police in West Valley try to focus on his brother Michael. Mm-hmm. And eventually they find him in February of 2013, dead from jumping from a 7-story parking garage in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. It
sucks.
Unreal.
Yeah.
First of all, in my mind, why would you have done that? He was a bright kid. He had a future. He wasn't at this point a kid. He was in his 20s, but he had a future, and he was doing things with his life. He was educated. He was smart. He was bright. Obviously, you knew something.
Yeah.
And Josh, couldn't, of course, say anything. So he had to go. He had to kill himself, but he was going to take the kids with him. And that leaves Stephen. So after Stephen is released from jail, he, a year later, has a heart attack and dies. So now at this point, there are no more people who
knew Susan.
They know Susan, but they don't
of her disappearance.
Right. Anybody that they suspected might have helped Josh is gone.
It's sad.
And still,
it's sad for Susan, not those other people.
It's sad for Susan and the boys.
Yeah. Yes.
Because number one, they still have never found her.
No.
There's no justice there. They can't even, her family can't even
have closure.
And now they no longer have her boys to raise and to love and to see how they would grow up.
Yeah.
They don't have that. And it's heartbreaking to think that, this jackass, horrible liar got away with all of this, could never prove that he did anything. But he was able to do these terrible things. In the end, maybe he got what he deserved, but at the expense of what?
Yeah.
So, to this day, Susan is presumed dead by the police in Utah. However, they're still investigating her disappearance. The encrypted hard drives are still being worked, and it's been over 10 years that they're trying to still, get through all of these hard drives and computers.
Hopefully something is there. I mean, that's a glimmer of hope.
I mean, yeah, but
I'm holding on to that, honey.
Yes, you got to hold on to something in this case.
Yeah.
There's just nothing good.
No.
recently, and I did want to kind of go back to this, the recent news is because the Susan's family has filed a civil suit that started on trial of February 18th of this year, 2020. Her parents are stating the boys' deaths are a result of negligence on the part of Washington State Department Social and Health Services.
Okay.
I mean, I can't disagree necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, that judge, I feel like he had the opportunity to nip this in a bud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the disappearance of Susan Powell. And it's a rough story.
It's very rough.
I do also want to say, I want to put it out there, you know, if you know anybody or you yourself are experiencing domestic violence and you need help, there's a national hotline. And it's 1-800-799-7233. And then in Washington, specifically, there is the Washington State Coalition Against Domestic Violence. It's WSCADV.org. And there's multiple resources available on that website. And I just kind of felt like it was important to get that information out there because I think in Susan's case, you know, it wasn't physical that we know of, but mental and emotional abuse is just as damaging, and this is what happens.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, it was rough. It was really sad. Yeah. But, you know, that's the nature of true crime, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. It's tough stories to hear, but, you know, sometimes there's some good that come out of things. So
you know, and maybe we can do an update after this court case goes through with, you know, Susan's parents.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes. I don't know how far they're going to get with it, but I feel very strongly that there is some blame to be placed in a few places of like local agencies. And they work hard. I don't want to say that everybody in every case is like this. The system is fixable, but there are some parts of it that are broken.
Yeah.
And I would never want to diminish the good that comes out of like social services or, you know, domestic dispute agencies, anything like that. There's so much good that comes out of it. It's just hard when you see it and it's wrong. You have to say something. You have to, somebody has to be accountable because how else do you fix things?
Yeah.
So, yeah. There again, I just want everybody to understand that I don't think that this is representative of any of the agencies that are in this area. I just think in this case, there could have been some things done better.
Yeah. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we will link those domestic hotline numbers and the website for Washington, along with, what was his name? Dave
Coley?
Yeah, his YouTube.
Yeah, Cold Podcast.
Cold Podcast.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, you know, it still amazes me. I get more related to what happens in the woods that, you know, looking at some of the places that people are listening to us. One, you know, California loves us. A lot of love from Washington also. But the surprising one are the outliers for me. We have 2 new listeners in Australia. Shout out to Australia.
Hey, down under.
And then one, because, you know, it's near and dear to my heart, but out of Dublin, Ireland.
Dublin.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know where it was in Ireland.
It
nice.
says Dublin, yeah. So, shout out to Ireland.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how we reached you, but hey.
Thank you for listening, and thank you everybody for listening. We are really overwhelmed, and thank you for the support and everything. And again, if you do have any suggestions for future stories, or if you have your own stories, we wouldn't mind having you on the podcast.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah, get a hold of us on the website at whathappensinthewoods.com. I want to thank everybody for listening. The support has been tremendous and awesome.
Yeah, I think we're having fun doing this. And
speak for yourself.
Shut the hell up. I'm having fun doing this.
Okay.
I don't care what you're doing. Right. Actually, you can just sit out there and play on the computer. But I'm having fun. I hope that you're having fun with me. But if you're not, screw you. Okay. I will just leave it there. We're really happy that this is something that people are finding entertaining, and we want to do more. So get in touch with us. Find us on social media. Find us on the website. And we look forward to that. So please engage. We want to hear from you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.